Coming up, bad behavior. American University's neighbors are complaining about students partying. Find out what the university is going to do about it and why students aren't happy.
Plus, Georgetown students are protesting. They want the university to offer contraception, but the university says no, it's a Catholic campus. We've got the controversy. District Wire News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Michelle Carlson.
And I'm Caitlin Moore.
Just when American University students thought their housing woes were over, they're in for another surprise. Neighbors living near the university are complaining the students are partying too much, and the university isn't controlling them. So now the Office of Campus Life is considering changing how they enforce bad behavior. Students living off campus may soon have to follow strict conduct rules. Savannah Grayville explains.
Possible changes to the Student Conduct Code will make it easier for American University to punish students for off-campus behavior.
We should be treated as adults. We're all adults here legally, so we should be treated as such. We shouldn't get punished for something that we do on a Friday night that is not affiliated with the school in any way.
Right now, students can only be punished if they've been given a citation by the police or if their behavior clearly endangers or threatens AU staff, administration, or students. Students can face charges by the university if they violate local, state, or federal laws.
If what you're doing is egregious enough that someone in the neighborhood says, our neighbors are doing the following things, then we're going to call you in for an intervention. And if you don't respond to that and you continue that behavior that's disrupting the neighborhood, we're probably going to bring charges under the code if we amend it that way.
Some students understand why American University would want these new rules.
I think it's a good idea. Definitely if there's repeat offenders of noise violations there's families and stuff I know that live all around the athletes' houses and frat houses.
The university says it will try to give the community what it wants without violating student rights. In Washington, Savannah Graybill, District Wire News.
Tea Party protests are taking place across the nation in response to President Obama's health care reform bill. Rallies against the controversial bill are attracting citizens and senators alike. Only city famous for tea parties. Tea Party protests in states like Arizona and Nevada this weekend brought in protesters from cities across the country. Famous speakers such as former Governor Sarah Palin and Senator John McCain spoke to the crowds. McCain admits Republicans made mistakes in the past, but that they are now ready to take back the vote in November.
We blew it when we didn't pay for the programs that we sponsored. We've learned our lesson, my friends. We will stop the earmarking. We will stop the corruption. We will stop the corruptive practices which have caused the American people to lose faith.
Palin says she believes that the problems lie within Washington.
We know that Harry Reid and his buddies in Washington, the Obama-Pelosi-Reid gang, we know they've got it the wrong way to try to solve these problems. They're going about it the wrong way. It's like common sense conservatives in D.C., it's becoming an endangered species.
Senators who voted in favor of health care reform are facing problems of their own from angry citizens. There have been reports of bricks thrown through senators' windows, and some people have left threatening voicemails.
You're going to have to look over your shoulder because people in your district hate your face.
McCain discourages angry protesters from resorting to violence.
I think that we've got to urge everybody to be respectful.
Which I'm still going to get a permit anyway.
More Tea Party protests are planned in cities throughout the United States. The rally is planned to hit D.C. on April 15th, Tax Day.
President Obama's new health care reform could make it harder for you to find a doctor. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, primary care physicians are already short in supply, and Obama's health care overhaul will bring millions more to the lacking sector. In fact, 65 million people already live in areas with a shortage. Many hope to ease the strain by changing traditional doctor's visits into a medical home model. The medical home model is a team of doctor-led nurses, physician assistants, and disease educators. These teams will provide extra access to a larger number of patients. The big surge for primary care won't start until 2014. For the first time, the American University Founders Day Ball was canceled. To add to the drama, the student government vice president was suspended. Amanda Simmons is in the studio for more on the story.
Thanks, Michelle. The gloomy weather matches the attitude of many AU students as the annual Founders Day Ball was canceled Sunday night. Even with the suspension of the student government vice president, we're hoping to have a successful event before the school year ends. The cancellation of the Founders Day Ball brought up many questions from the American University student body. What happened? Why was the student government vice president suspended? And is the university going to do anything to make up for it? Alex Prescott, the student government vice president, talks about what went wrong.
Founders Day was originally postponed in February due to the snow. It didn't allow us to finalize contracts, and all our orders had been pushed back, so we decided to postpone the event indefinitely.
Student Activities is just as disappointed about the cancellation, but they're confident that student government is working to deliver something special.
The SG is actually working very hard to plan a gala for the spring. They're trying to do it somewhere on campus, keep it simple, but still be a very extravagant event that's going to be a lot of fun. So they're looking to do that sometime in April.
Prescott was suspended for the rest of his term due to the event cancellation. However, he doesn't plan on backing down quietly.
I'm currently looking into challenging the process, either through Student Activities or the Judicial Board, so they can rule on how constitutional the process was and if I received due process and fair chance.
Still, the most disappointed students seem to be the freshmen.
I feel like I really missed out on that as a freshman. I know that previous classes have really enjoyed it, and I don't think it's fair for my class to not be able to participate in an event, especially I would like to know a lot about American University. I pay $50,000 to go here, and I would like a ball to go to.
It looks like students will have to keep their gowns and tuxedos in the closet just a little longer, but hopefully the next Founders Day Ball will be worth the wait. Student Activities think the gala will be in the tavern or somewhere else on campus. Back to you, Michelle.
The church's sex scandal did not deter thousands from flocking to the Vatican on Sunday to celebrate Palm Sunday. Pope Benedict XVI began Holy Week by saying the church will not be intimidated by the sex scandals and referred to them as petty gossip. Despite the controversy, many believers traveled to Jerusalem to celebrate Mass at the site of Jesus' crucifixion. Palm Sunday marks the beginning of the Holy Week, which leads up to Easter.
More than 37 people were killed in Moscow this weekend after suicide bombers attacked 2 trains. The bombings happened during the morning rush hour, leaving over 60 people injured. President Obama offered his condolences to the Russian people in a statement issued by the White House. He also condemned the bombings and said the American people must stand united with the people of Russia in opposition to violent extremism.
DC Metro alert and security was increased this weekend after the recent bombings on 2 Moscow subways. This past weekend, Metro conducted an underground train explosion simulation and is planning on simulating a bus explosion at RFK Stadium in the near future. Metro Transit Police's acting head, Jerry Lee, said that Metro will do everything to make the transit system as secure as possible. Lee said Metro will remain on high alert through the upcoming Nuclear Security Summit scheduled in Washington in mid-April.
A serial bank robber strikes again. Metropolitan Police blame one man for 5 separate robberies since November. The latest burglary was last week at a Chevy Chase Bank on the 1200 block of F Street. No gun was shown, but the man implied that he was carrying firearms.
Coming up after the break, contraception on campus. Georgetown students are protesting the university's policy on handing out condoms and birth control.
And flying high, we'll take you to the National Kite Festival.